You do not do your best. Nobody on this earth ever does their best. People use that as sort of a benchmark or an excuse. Oh, I did my best. I'm doing my best. I'm trying. How can you do your best when you don't even know what your best is? You've never actually ever filled that bar up of your potential. You've never in any area of your life. Every time you go through an obstacle, you realize that I have more. So how can you, in your mind, ever say that I'm doing my best? What you do, what all humans do, right? You do your worst. You do whatever your baseline is. You do the very least that you possibly can in any situation. How do you increase that? How do high performing individuals increase their baseline? They increase their standards. They stop using the next man who is worse off than they are as a standard. They stop using their previous self and, hey, I'm at least doing better than what I used to do. Hey, I'm at least doing better than Bob down the street who's still drinking and still smoking and still being a nasty piece of work to his wife and his family. I'm still better than him. You cannot compare yourself to the worst or the next man and still think that you're doing the best. You are not doing your best, and you should never aim to do your best. I don't think that that's ever going to yield the fruit that you want from your life. The best thing that you can possibly do for yourself is aim to do the best, to be the best, whatever it is. I aim right now on this transformation that I'm going through to be the best, not my best, because even the Bible tells us how we as people are flawed. We are weak. We are weak. But if I am the best father, the best husband, the best man, entrepreneur, son, brother, whatever, friend, a coach, I am holding myself up to the highest possible standard that exists. Even the best of the best had a ceiling in this situation, right? Look at Michael Jordan. At some point, he thought he was doing his best, and then he never even made certain teams. They thought like, this needs to do better at life. Like he was just not picked. Michael Jordan, he was just not picked. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Netflix docu, but he had to work towards being the Michael Jordan that we know. And as he did that, he probably looked up to the best at that point in time and said, I'm going to top this guy because I know in my heart that I am the best. You got to know that you are the best. You got to tell yourself that. You got to not affirmation tell yourself and look in the mirror and say, I'm the best and I can do the best. You got to work at it. He worked at it. He beat the best until he was the standard. And even when he was the standard of what is the best basketball player that could ever be, he still was not doing his best. Because who knows what that even freaking looks like? Nobody. Exactly. He was just at a level where no one else could top him. Michael Jordan was at a level that was so high in basketball that he actually went and put himself in a situation where he was low again, where he was the weakest again. He changed sports and he sucked, but he wanted a challenge because that is what makes us the best. That's what brings out the best in us. It's a challenge and overcoming that challenge. So don't tell me that you do your best. Your best doesn't matter. I'm not saying this because I am doing the best in the world. I am acknowledging the fact that I will never do my best. So I'm always, since I was a young guy, looking up to men that I know have the results that I want and trying to get to a point where I can commune with them, where I can even top them. where I could even potentially be the person they look up to, because I'm consistent, because I'm hardworking, because I've got that positive self-talk. The one where small things and whatever they're not gonna come at me, and I'm not gonna let them take over my mind and take over my action. I've been low. I've been at places where I had so much given to me. I had jobs, I had, as an actor, it's really not guaranteed. Not a lot of actors have what I have. I was able to buy a house, I was able to raise a family, my kids are in private school, I was able to buy multiple cars, some I've had to sell since COVID, because I did my best. I was up at some point doing the best that I possibly saw, and then I started doing my best. And that pulled me down. Funny enough, I tried to put it in my mind, okay, I tried to dissect my own success and say, where did I exert myself that gave me this life? I mean, I was an influencer back in 2012, and I just didn't know what I did to get me this success. I wanted to duplicate it, I wanted to replicate it, and I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't pull it apart to the point where I could repeat it. It was not repeatable. And I drove myself crazy doing that. And instead of just continuing with the action that I was putting in before, because that is essentially what gets you the result, I just slowed down. I just settled and tried to maintain and tried to keep the corner of the market that I had. And it got really frustrating, right? I started being labeled as this guy who is the six-pack guy, and whenever he gets cast, or whenever someone's looking for a pretty boy who's stupid, they'll cast this guy because, fuck, he's not really that good as an actor. Or he doesn't have that big a following. Or whatever the fuck. But nonetheless, I let my standard be defined by me. Be defined by my best. I looked around and I said, fuck, I have a life. And most people don't have this life. So I'm definitely ahead of the curve. Your best will always pull you down. It pulled me down. So don't tell yourself that you're doing your best. If I had just stuck to the actions that I was busy with before, just pounding it out at the gym, killing it with photo shoots, killing it with the consistency in posting, killing it with attending events or whatever the case is, getting hype media like I used to, networking, being around high value individuals who saw a bigger potential for their own lives, and continually putting myself in those situations, I would have built on the success that I already had. But I looked inwards to look at my best, instead of looking outward to the world and saying, what is the best? And how can I beat the best? So tell yourself that. We are not that different. All of us have the potential to be the best at what we do. Let's go get it. Let's go get it, go getters.